You cool?
I think so. I'm a little nervous about that. I hope this thing just stay. It don't fall.
All right, we gonna make this Godspeed. Okay, as
Okay.
long as you comfortable, I'm gonna get ready to get started. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Welcome everyone. My name is Lakendra Ford, and this is Transparent. I would like to thank you all for joining this platform where we do interviews, not interviews. And for that reason, I feel so fortunate to have this special, phenomenal woman to join this conversation tonight, Miss Shonka Dukureh. Hi, Shonka.
Blessings, blessings, sister. It's a delight to be here with you on this
Absolutely.
evening.
Yes. Shanka is
Yes,
a
ma'am.
trooper, y'all. I got her late night,
It's
okay?
all right. We
All
good.
right.
The baby's sleep. We good.
Right, the babies are down. Now it's
Yes.
time to get real. Well, the reason why I feel so honored to have this woman, y'all, is not only because she's kinfolk to me, but she's also a phenomenal inspiration. I
Mm,
watch her journey. I admire everything about her as a woman, as a person, and as a talent and a gift. And
mm,
this show is really special for me because my father, George Ford, he
mm,
has gone on to be with
mm,
the angels, but
mm.
one thing for certain is Shonka is his favorite singer in the whole wide world. You
I'm honored. Did you see?
hear
Did you hear
me?
me? I am
My
still
dad here
honored.
sitting here clapping. He like, ah,
Blessings.
Shonka.
And you know what? Clapping also, Kendra, not just because he considered me a favorite singer, but clapping because you and I get to do this at
Right.
this point in time. You know, there's a time and place for all things, and it was just appointed right now. You know?
Right, right. He has us together, and I know he's
Yes.
feeling so much joy. But I
Blessings.
wanted, of course, this is my family, so I feel a way. But once I tell you about her, you're going to feel the same. I just wanted to get into a little bit about some of the things that you've been a part of, if you don't mind. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
this is Shanka, Miss Shanka. She has a bachelor's in theater, okay, from Fisk University. She has a master's in education. She's a teacher, y'all. She's a
Blessings.
teacher above all things.
Blessings.
And she has toured the world. She's an international performer. I'm so happy that she's in the States, so I get to sit with her now.
Yes.
And yes, I get to sit with you. I know you're always
Yes.
on the road. She's done some phenomenal things. She's award winning. She hails from Nashville, Tennessee.
Blessings.
Okay,
Blessings.
if you can make it
Blessings.
in Nashville, you can make it anywhere. You hear me?
That's right.
You hear
Yeah,
me?
but Nashville's got it going on with the music. I don't think a
It
lot of people
is
realize it. Got it going on now.
for music.
Yes.
So when I can't forget when I heard him like, your cousin, she's doing all kinds of plays and musicals and everything. You need to come down here to Nashville. I was like, Daddy, for
Yes.
real? I thought I was in New York. I'm like, New York lit too. But Dad was like,
Yes.
no. Shanka doing it down here. You gotta come
You
down
know
here.
what? You have to grow where you're planting, sister. Now,
Right.
if I had my choice, I would have been in the thick of it, in the middle of New York and getting all of those grand experiences. But that's not where I was planning, so I had to grow right here. You hear
You
me?
are right where you're supposed to be. I am so
Yes,
happy and so
ma'am.
proud of you. So proud of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I came up with a couple of questions, more than a couple of questions, because I wanted everyone to get a chance to know you. And one of the reason why I started this platform is because I wanted to have interviews, right? Not interviews.
Okay.
I think with everything that's been going on in the world, a lot of people are suffering from anxiety. A lot of people are lacking inspiration.
Mm.
And when you're trying to learn people, it's so much on a superficial level, you know?
Mm.
So I wanted to be able to have transitional conversations with real people so
Listen.
someone could listen and be inspired or find themselves in you or take a message home. So I have a couple of questions that I can't wait to ask you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. All right. So I'm going to start with this one, right? Because it's called secret doors, right? I believe that secret doors are the doors that only the Most High could have opened up for you.
Mm.
And when God opens a door for you, there's always experiences, there's always magical things that happen, lessons that's learned.
Mm.
You had to go through it. So I
Mm.
wanted to know, what secret doors has your gift opened up for you?
I think I'll begin, Kendra. I was doing a local play here, may have seemed insignificant to a lot of people, but I was there doing this little small part in this production. And I got to the part in the play and I was singing, I think may have been singing Precious Lord or something. And the music director arranged the music for me. Once he heard my voice, he rearranged it to kind of fit what I do. And so I'm doing my thing, and here it is. There's no small parts. I took the part very seriously, even though it was small. But there I was singing and doing my thing with that little part. And little did I know, my first opportunity to do something professional in this business was sitting right in the audience. And I got an
Wow.
opportunity to tour the United States with a show called Freedom Sings, and it was with a lot of local musicians and songwriters who may have earned Grammy awards, just very established in their careers. But I got to tour the United States with them and sing all this controversial music. It was my first master class because
Wow.
and also Kendrick also opened me up to realize that there's so many aspects to the business that I just was not aware of. So that
Mhm.
was one open door, just being able to tour with those established, seasoned musicians and learn from them. I think the next open door was I was on stage doing a seemingly insignificant Christmas play. And it was, I remember we had rented out TSU's, Tennessee State University's Performing Arts Center. I think we had
Mhm.
used their space. And little did I know there was a writer and director sitting in the audience, listening to me sing a leak in this old building. And when I came off the stage, she invited me to New York City, Kendra, to audition for my first equity opportunity to get my equity card show, where I was
Oh,
able to be directed by the Hinton Battle, three-time Tony Award winner, and I was able to sit at his feet and learn from him. I was so clueless and just I knew who he was, but I didn't understand the significance of me being able to sit under his tutelage, even for those few months. And I learned so much and still consider him one of my mentors. So that was another open door. I had an opportunity to see the world and actually tour Europe, and no one in my family ever needed a passport unless they was in the military. I happen to know your father spent some time in the military, and I have some uncles that did so. So that was the only reason, anyone in the family needed a passport. So when I got that opportunity, sister, to go and actually get a passport I was going to use and be able get on stage with these established musicians with Jamie Lydell and Daru Jones and Marcus Machado and Gerald Jenkins and all of these cats, Owen Biddle and
wow.
Marion. I mean, listen, and I and no Kendra. I'm out there. I'm flying high with these brothers, and I'm gonna tell you, a sister was clueless. I was so green, it was a shame. All I knew to do, sister, was open my mouth and do what the Most High created me to do. Listen to me now. Been doing it all my life. I don't need nobody to tell me how to do that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I knew
Right.
nothing else but that. And I'm kind of a little bit sad to say that, but it's the truth. I really walked in there very innocent and was in all of those situations not really understanding the master classes I was getting all along the way. Don't despise humble beginnings. I'm talking about those parts you play that ain't nobody paying attention to, but you learning some
Right?
keys, sister, that's gonna be able to help you have some staying power, have some depth. You feel me?
Right, right, right. You know what? That's where we share an experience because remember I was a tour performer too. I went over to Europe and everything, and the same thing you said. I had no clue what was over there. I was scared, Shanka.
Yes.
I was scared. I was like,
Yes.
and I'm a part of this orchestra, this big. It was like a big production, but you know what? The same thing you said. I learned so much from that
Yes.
experience, doing tens of thousands a
Yes.
night. It was like, wow. So
And
I
you learn what's in you.
right, right.
Yeah. You
Because
didn't
you
know
know
you
what,
could
you're a
do
long
it.
way from home.
Yes.
You gotta get with it. It
Yes.
ain't no turning back. They done paid you.
Yes. That reminds me when I was doing that show in Detroit with Mr. Battle. I don't know if you're familiar with Hinton Battle, but every artist of color should know his name and honor his name. He is still with us, and I just think he should just be honored because he was the first to do it and earn these 3-time Tony. I mean, he's the brother's band, but I just recall he is a really huge. I mean, he's a phenomenal dancer, Kenya. Not only is a great director, but he's a great choreographer. So he's teaching me these moves and everything. And I'm not a dancer, but I can move. But to hit and battle, it's important that I do the choreography the way he taught it. And I
Right.
wanted to kind of lax up, that kind of ease my way, charm my way
Hmm.
through. And he caught my bluff like, no, helper, we don't paid you.
You
And
better
what you
work.
gonna do is you gonna do these goddamn moves like I
You better
told
work.
you.
Trial
And
by fire.
he gave me that. I bet you I got it together, baby. I bet you I got the moves together because he was not gonna go for that. You know?
That's what makes you a professional. You know,
Yes.
those are
Yes.
the ones they like saying iron sharpens iron. Those are
Yes,
the moments that
indeed.
make you a pro.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Right, right.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
I'm getting chills. Okay. All right. So going back, I never forget watching this video. It was two videos that just blew my mind. I remember. It was one I think you were doing, and I am telling you
Mm.
Miss
Listen.
Holiday would have sat down and just gave me.
Respect, Miss Holiday. Respect. Yes.
And I also and I remember watching you it was in a church setting and you were worshiping. And
Mm.
it was special to me because for a
Mm.
minute I forgot that I knew you because I
Listen.
was in the spirit. If it could come through my phone and make me,
Listen.
I said, you know what, you
Mm-hmm.
brought me back. I remember when I was in praise and worship and learning the importance of worship. Learning
Mm-hmm.
the importance of worship, how you can change the atmosphere. And I saw you
Mm-hmm.
worship, and my God, I was like, wow, wow.
Mm, blessings.
So,
Blessings.
so my for that, I wanted to know because worship is supernatural. When was the time that you realized that you can shift the atmosphere with your worship?
You know what? It was not even performing. I I think I realized it when I was just amongst the congregation. And in those moments, those of us who have had church experiences when we've been in the sanctuary and the spirit is what we call high, and you can kind of feel a divine presence. You can't even put it into words, but it's there. And I just remember being in that atmosphere and going forth in a very honest, I'm not paying no attention to nobody, but this is between me and the Most High God praise. And see, when the praise come forth or worship come forth like that, Kendra, it cannot help but to touch a heart. Because
Right.
it's coming from heart. You feel me? And I
Right.
think that is when I realized that posture that I was taking right there amongst the congregants is the same posture I have to take whenever I'm standing before the people and I'm trying to sing a praise unto God. It's kind of difficult. It's a challenge because you're before people and they're watching you. But to me, praise and worship is an intimate, private thing, and that's how you can kind of be in a sea of people and zone out,
Right.
and God meets us there because everybody is there with Him by themselves, even though they're amongst everyone. Isn't that something?
Yes, 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 yes. You just said a word because that's what it is. That's that intimate conversation. And I believe that worship is, I always think about ships, an analogy. I spoke to you briefly about it, but how ships are life, right? Relationship,
Mm-hmm.
companionship, hardship, worship
That's it, sister.
is so important. And
Mm-hmm.
to see you worship, I was there. It put like this. The video probably went off without me cutting it off because you put me right in the right space. I was on.
Listen,
I was like,
that's what
okay,
it's
thanks
about.
for the help. I took you up
Listen.
there. So I appreciate you for that and letting God use you. Okay, so I'm going to just go into the next question.
Okay.
What do you seek most in this journey called life?
I seek to be my true, authentic self at all times.
Hmm.
I seek to tell the truth in my music, to tell the truth in my words I speak, and how I move in my life, just being truthful in every way.
Right.
I seek peace with myself first and with things and everything around me. In other words, not consuming myself with everyone and what everyone's got going on, but respecting that they have what they have going on and really taking that energy that I would be putting out, concerned with everything and everyone, and building me and telling myself the truth because I want to build to my best self. So how do I do that? Tell my truth every step of the way. Tell myself the truth every step of the way. If I
Wow.
missed it today with being a good mom, I have to tell myself the truth,
Right.
even if I don't tell nobody. Sister, I'm talking about if you want to get better. Now, if you don't want to get better, then don't say nothing. Just keep doing how you gonna do. But I
Right.
want to be better so I can make my babies better, sister.
Shonka. Shonka, you showing up tonight. This is why we have transparent. So people could be real. When we're real with ourselves. When we're real with ourselves. Some people find that really challenging to do, but I think it's the most rewarding thing to know and love you. So you just said a word, sis. Thanks. You just said a word. Wow. Okay, so I'm moving on. I could have almost paused right there, like, well, that's a night. Real with yourself.
Okay.
Transparent. Be
Shit.
be real with yourself.
Okay. All right
Well,
now. You can't lie to sell, baby, because you will sell 24 sell. You feel me?
right. Do you like yourself?
Okay.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna bring it back. Okay. So, what were your expectations? If you think back, what were your expectations of the business? I know you said that you came in it kind of blind but what did you expect from that time? Did you say, okay, now I'm a professional performer?
You know what, Kendra? I think that I was, how sometimes you moving in life and you surviving, you not really living. So, sister, I was in a career, I was doing my thing. But girl, I was a zombie doing the shit. So I wasn't conscious enough to have the expectation. I was just doing. I was just moving doing what I thought everyone expected me to do, looking like a busybody, looking like I had something established, but I was still growing and learning. So I had no expectation of the business because I didn't even conceive myself in it. I was doing the business, I was in it, but I didn't think of it that way. So that's why I could not make it work to me to the fullest capacity because I wasn't even conscious that I was there.
You know how real that is? People are just existing
We
because of
doing
our
a lot of stuff.
just busy, just busy.
Sister, I did not make all of that. There was a lot of people that I have passed along my journey. I could not make it count because I was not conscious. I was just moving for the sake of moving, so that when somebody saw me, it looked like I was busy and doing my thing, and I didn't even know what my thing was.
But everybody else could see it in you.
Yes,
And that and
yes,
here's the thing, because do you find that sometimes that when God blesses you to do something well and it seems like you have things put together, that people don't know that sometimes you need a word too. You need some
yeah,
guidance too.
yes,
Like I
yes.
don't have it all figured out.
Yes. And here is my truth. Here's my truth. I was a little difficult to guide.
Mm.
Cause see, ain't that something to be on your way? You on your way, and you ain't even you not even aware of how off track you are, and you not open to hear correction. Because in your mind, you doing what you're supposed to be doing. So what the problem is? Now the problem is you're not conscious. The problem is somebody has been where you're going, and if you're trying to get there, you got to listen to some darn body.
Mm.
Somebody got to be able to correct you. Somebody got to be able to pull your coattail.
Be coachable. They always saying you have to
Absolutely.
be coachable. And
Absolutely.
you don't, and a lot of time we don't know what we don't know.
Yes. But
Mm.
I was just so defensive. I put up a defense because I think I did not want to hear that that I didn't have it. Because everybody was saying you gotta get it. It looked like it. In the newspaper, it looked like it. When they put out the reviews, it looked like she got it, got it. And so I did not want to hear no one say I did not. Because then all of the other stuff I had to strip down and start telling myself the truth so I can get there for real. And not be faking it.
Mm. You making my eyes get real warm. Mm. We're gonna keep this interview about you right now because you about to bring me back to a moment, okay? She had record deals and all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, what? I don't. Okay, lost.
Yes. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And you know what? I don't know. I don't know if I didn't feel comfortable enough to just say I don't know. Show me, teach me. I just think I was too prideful to be that vulnerable to say that. And I didn't give someone the opportunity to say, okay, I have. I assumed if I said that would prove that I'm too weak, and there would be rejection, and I didn't give the person the opportunity, to help because I
Yeah.
was shut off. I would not be honest.
And you know something? Well, you just struck a nerve because it just made me go back into why I probably seemed uncoachable. Because when I was younger, I always felt dismissed. So here was that
Mm-hmm.
thing that I accomplished, the little blackie, darky, monkey girl, me.
Gorgeous sister.
No, but when you young, hey, people can have you
I
tricked,
got you. I got you,
and
baby.
I'm like,
Yes.
okay, so I don't grow up, and I grew up, and now I have all these things going on, and what I really needed was somebody to say, okay, so what are you going to do with this? What's the next step? How are
Yeah.
you going to use these resources?
Yes.
What are you going to do with this money?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Instead,
Yes.
we just keep on chasing and chasing and
Yes.
chasing. And it
Yes.
seems like we're just going round in circle, but trying to
Yes.
make it look good to other people.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, next. That. Woo, tonight. Okay. All right, so with that being said, today, what are you claiming today in your world? What are you calling on today from the universe? What are you praying for today from God?
I want to have someone when I recently was overseas working, and a gentleman from somewhere in the diaspora, I don't know what part of Africa he was from, but he said to me, your home should be a little bit of heaven, should feel like a little piece of heaven. And Kendra, it rung out to me loudly because that's been my challenge, to get the right balance and harmony in my space with my babies. And
Mm.
so what I want right now is for that to be, for there to be, for my home, for my space, my interaction with my babies to be a little piece of heaven. We have to correct and we have to discipline and guide and all that, but I don't want that to overshadow my tenderness and my caring and my love, and finding the right balance and learning when to pull back and take a break, or listen before I correct, or not do nothing at all. I don't know all the answers, but all I know is I want the Most High God to rest, rule, and abide in my home. It doesn't matter if God follows me outside of my home. I want my kids to see God rest, rule, and abide in me here in this house with them. You feel me?
Mm.
It's not good enough for them to see me get up on Sunday morning and shout to church if they come home and I'm fussing and cussing.
Right?
No, that's real now. Because I don't want them to be questioning, is God real? Because I'm not displaying that in my space with my babies or with their dad. You know what I'm saying? Or with whomever I'm interacting with. Or if I'm driving in the car to get some food or something, and they hear me fussing and cussing at the people in what I'm saying, on the
Right.
road, whatever it is. So I want heaven. I want heaven in my home. I want heaven in me, because if it's in me, then it can exude in my space, sister. I don't know if that sounds deep, but I'm just
No,
telling you, that
listen,
brother.
listen,
Listen,
listen.
when
This is
he said that to me, it took my breath away. It took my breath away, and it took everything for me not to cry, because I was supposed to be the important person around, so I can't be all emotional. But that thing took my breath away when he said that.
listen. I know somebody listening to you right now and felt you the same way I just felt you, because a lot of times you can go out in this world and be anything you want to be. Put on any face, any mask, but if you don't have peace in your home, peace in your spirit that's going to translate into your young, what is this all for?
Nothing. Nothing.
What That's what we're here for. To show love and to be love. And they need us. They don't need us to be
Absolutely.
just pretending on the outside and come home raising hell and they can't get no love. There's so many people that's adults like us that are talking about, like, I didn't get love from my mom. I didn't get love from my dad.
Mm,
But on the flip side, the parents would say, I was a provider. I
mm.
was there.
And you know what? Into just to just to understand that part, maybe they thought that was the love language. Maybe that was their love language, and their kids didn't understand it. Or maybe they didn't understand that that language wasn't enough. They had to bring some balance and have some touching and caring too. Because we do need our parents to do all that, and and sometimes you get so caught up providing, it's like, what? I don't have time to do nothing else. So
Right?
I didn't understand my mother, Kendra, until I had children. See,
Woo!
it's easy. It's easy to point finger at mama when you ain't done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it took me to have two babies for me to repent and ask her forgiveness. God had already took her and laid her to rest. But I had to ask her spirit for forgiveness because I was too hard on her. See, it's easy to give mercy when you need it, sister. It's easy to give grace when you need some.
Mm, mm. Rule number one, don't make me cry. Because it's easy to give mercy when you need some.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me? You know, I'm on the flow. I'm not gonna be afraid to be who I am. I remember as a child, my mother had 4 children. And she, you know what I'm saying, we lived in the city and we struggled just like a lot of black families across this country have done so. And I just remember with my mom, it was one thing that nagged me about her. It seemed like that even though she would go to the laundry, Kendra, it seemed like that there was always dirty clothes in the basket. I could not understand. If you just came from the laundry, why are there still dirty clothes? Now, here is the truth. She was a young mother with 4 children. The laundry was in the apartment complex, but it was several blocks away, up and down the hill. She's got to pack a bag. She didn't even have a car. We didn't have no car. So someone in the neighborhood borrowed a shopping cart from the grocery store and brought it down the neighborhood and was passing it around to the different mamas to load their clothes up in the basket, go up the hill. She got to then take $20 and get her some corns to put in the machine, wash some of the clothes, hang some of the clothes, dry some of the clothes. Now, I used to get mad at her because I did not understand. But now that I have 2 children, I struggle myself with a laundry, a washer and dryer in my house
Hello?
to keep everything washed and dried and hung up properly. And I need my kids to show me a little grace and mercy sometimes. And when I think about that and think about how hard I was on her and how embarrassed I felt because I did not understand.
It's easy to give mercy when you need it. You know what? We learn a lot because it's a perception. It's what we think we see and what we think we believe about our parents. But when we become parents, it gets real. You know, I'm seeing it now because I have a 2-year old, and all I
Yes,
could do is realize, like, he's his own person.
yes,
Just trying to do
yes,
the best I can
yes,
and hope he likes me in the end.
yes,
All
yes,
right, just trying to
yes.
lighten it up. But okay. So you know what? I'm gonna piggyback off that. So how is it? I think you kind of answered it, but how are you balancing having the 2 children plus being a teacher plus going out on the road? Like, what comes with that for you?
Well, I mean, I'm grateful. The kid's dad is definitely around and involved, and so sometimes when I have to travel, well, all the time when I have to travel, they're with dad, and so that gives me a peace of mind to know they're in a safe place. As far as my teaching, a lot of times I'm doing after school programs, so during the day I can devote that time to my kids and being mom and helping my son with virtual learning and whatever it is that he needs and doing mama stuff, and then when I'm on the road, dad takes over all of that. I'm just so grateful to be able to say that because not everybody has that. But I do have that, and I'm grateful that that he's in place and I can have that peace of mind. So it works out. It works out.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, okay. All right, so I'm trying to sum it up because I don't want to keep you all night, even though I'm loving this. You know that, right? All right, so, huh. I'm going to fast forward and I just want to go to you today, Shonka. What would you tell the younger version of yourself? Like, what if you were talking to the 7-year old version of yourself, what would you tell her today? Froze up there a little bit. Okay. Hmm.